All right, we're gonna get started. Welcome in, Kitten. Hi, Sam. Goo goo gaga. Sam likes to be post-verbal sometimes. That's okay. Uh, also, hi, DJ, and thank you for the Prime sub, Slippy, for 12 months, a whole year. Definitely use that Prime sub because, okay, I swear to God, something is happening. This was happening Sunday. It's putting on my other outfit, and I swear to God, I'm not touching anything. I don't know what's doing it. Why is it doing that? Who's like, there's something I'm hitting. Hold on. Like, I'm hitting this. That's my, whatchamacallit. My stream deck. I hit my mute button. That didn't do anything. What am I hitting? There's something going on. And it's, I think, like, I'm being gaslit by somebody. Like, Twitch is doing it to me where it's typing my messages backwards. And now there's something going on. I must have a hotkey set up that is doing this. Hold on. Costume 1. So, like, you guys can't see it because, I have VTube Studio set up as a source where you can't see, like, you can't see, like, the curtain behind Oz kind of stuff. But basically, like, when you guys redeem things, I have to set it up where, like, I have to hotkey. I have to set it on my keyboard as a hotkey. And, like, you're supposed to do, like, combinations, so it's, like, you'll never just randomly press it. Except for when I'm, like, moving my model. Like, I have those set to, like, easy things to remember. And, my jacket is set for 2 keys. Like, both costumes are set for ZE and ZR, which, again, I would never just randomly press those. That is so weird. But it is kind of driving me insane. I just want to know what's doing it. That's... It was doing it Sunday, and, like, no one said anything, and I was like, okay, I'm starting to get a little, concerned here. Like, I'm just gonna straight up delete it if it's gonna keep acting up. And the rest of my because, like, Zika set up these hotkeys for me. The hotkeys that I've set up, I don't use letters. I've done everything on the numpad. So I don't no idea what's going on. And it's kind of creeping me out at this point. But whatever. If it happens again, seriously, somebody say something. I want to see it in the moment where it happens. Because it's kind of pissing me off. Because obviously, like, I'll do it right now. Like, this looks weird. It looks weird to me because I know that doesn't go together. It looks like I just threw everything on together. Unless it's telling me to, like, wear that outfit instead. I don't know. Also, welcome in, Strap Streams. But, like, yeah, no one else redeemed anything that would have made it, like, do that. I don't know. We're going to be playing some Ace Attorney tonight. What do you call a dinosaur wearing a cowboy hat and boots? Tyrannosaurus Tex. Don't mess with Texas. I do have a Don't Mess with Texas shirt, and I've never been there. Ooh, speaking of things, though, I don't have... hold on. I did forget something, actually. Although I thought I did bring it up. I guess it just never... Tits didn't pull up. I'm going to get you that redemption here in a moment. Tits is a different program than VTube Studio. But VTube Studio stuff is working. Hold on. It's taking its good old time. I could have sworn I brought those up. I'm gaslighting myself, I think. Okay, so I will give you your points back for the hydrate, and it's still gonna throw a bottle at me, so it's like you got it for free. Hold on. have to clear out my my redemptions here. There we go. But welcome in. Yeah, there's something going on with my model. I'm actually gonna ask Zeke about it. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but it is like, it is putting my other outfit on for some reason. Just sometimes, and I can't figure out why. Like, I'm gonna go back and watch the VOD, I think. But yeah, we're gonna be starting a new case tonight. And it's gonna have Edgeworth in it. I'm very excited. We haven't seen Edgeworth. This is case number 4 on the 3rd game. We haven't seen him for like an entire game, basically. Oh, you're fine, Strap. I just put that there as a reminder. As long as you don't mind ads. I mean, here's the thing. I have to play enough ads to not have people get pre-rolls when they come in. So you should not get hit with an ad when you come in on the stream. That's my goal. I play the bare minimum that it prevents that. I did take away, I've mentioned this before, but I'll keep mentioning it for people who aren't subbed, but I did take away the banner ads. I found a way to get rid of those because I don't like those. It shrinks my screen and it pisses me off. So you guys shouldn't see those, allegedly. Yeah. So I'd have to, so if you stream as well, I found it through, I'm in my dashboard right now. Let me see if I can find it again. I think it's under monetization, then ads. Because I Googled it because I got curious. And then it brings up like your like ad rev share stuff. There is a thing and it is automatically ticked on called stream display ads. You want to turn that off if you want to get rid of those. Now you won't get revenue from that when you turn those off, but personally I don't like them because I'm fine with banner ads, you know, popping up, I suppose, like on other sites, but I find the way that they implemented it for Twitch is kind of intrusive. And when their whole idea behind them is to where they're not supposed to be intrusive, I think the fact that it shrinks my screen when someone who uses a layout, like a layover, I think it just makes the experience worse. It takes up the whole mobile screen. See, I don't watch people on mobile anymore, but I do know they made that a thing. I think it would be fine if they put it in the chat window. Or you know what, actually, what if they just did like the ads where like they would randomly show up like between the chat messages, like as chat was going through? But I guess that wouldn't work for really large streamers because, like, you know, these advertising companies want you to click on the thing. They don't want you to miss it. But yeah, or where they put the hype train stuff. I feel like if it was there where it wasn't messing with the actual stream, I'd be fine with that. And what's funny is, like, when they started experimenting with that, that's what people said to do. Like, they don't listen to creators. And I feel like, honestly, those types of ads, Twitch will say, like, they want it to be non-intrusive. Those ad companies, they want you to click on it. You know, that's how they get revenue, by accidentally clicking on those things. Those are done purposely that way. So I took them off. But also, I did find out if you run ad block, it will block those out too. Because I was watching Twitch on stream like in incognito mode, just so I don't like dox myself. I was doing it on stream, I think for like a Final Fantasy thing, and I was like, why are all these ads popping up again? And I found out later that's why, because ad block does not work in incognito, or at least it doesn't on mine. Yeah, Twitch might want them to be non-intrusive, but other places don't. And I still find them intrusive the way they have it set up. And also, they're ugly the way it does it to my stream. So, they're gone. They're gone. But yeah. My other friend mentioned, Virgo, who comes in here sometimes, also streams, said they wish they could pick the ads that shows on their stream, which it's like, I feel like Twitch would lose out on that, because then certain companies would be like, well, I noticed like none of your streams want to show our stuff. It's like, well, yeah, we don't care about the ads. We don't care what's shown unless it's like relevant to our stream. Edgeworth's face is not ugly at all, and I'm excited. I can't believe it's been like 5 episodes since we've seen his beautiful face. He's on the cover thing for the next episode, so I feel like he has to be a part of it somehow. We might be defending him. He might be the prosecutor. We don't know yet. But we're getting near the end of this game, the game series. This is the 3rd game, and we're on episode 4. I think there's only 1 episode after this. I'm excited. I will say, without being too negative, the Mia case was really good. I really liked hers, but the past 2 cases for me have just been kind of all right. Like, I really liked most of the other cases in the first 2 games, but I'm hoping this one has Edgeworth in it. How can we not like it? But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I put out my schedule this week, finally today, and I said I was going to start at 8, which I technically am. We're starting the game at 8 o'clock, but I found that like 7 was not giving me enough time from ending work and getting stream setup stuff, so I will most likely start before 8, but I guess I could say like a 7:30, but like I don't know anyone else that starts at like a 30 time frame. So it's 8 o'clock, and it might be a little bit earlier. Final Case is your hard favorite of the entire franchise. Oh wow, of this game, Trials and Tribulations? Because that's kind of exciting. I'm excited for that. I bet it's a really long case too. That'll take us like probably like 2 or 3 weeks, I bet, with the pace I go at. That's true, yeah. I just feel like people, you know, we're forgetful creatures. I feel like we're more likely to remember someone starting on the clock as opposed to like mid. But I mean, I've been telling people, I'm like, it's 7 p.m.-ish. And I guess it kind of still is. It's just I'm putting 8 there as a safety net. Also, I did remember to turn the sound down a little bit because we had to turn the sound up for Zelda. I remember to turn it back down for Ace Attorney. If it's too quiet, anyone can feel free to speak up. I will turn it up, but usually this game has obnoxious music. That's usually never an issue. It does. Oh, yes, that's what I need to be successful on Twitch, is a time zone no one will expect. I know, I love Quaxley. Quaxley was my favorite starter. Not a lot of people... I did stream that a long time ago when that came out. Not a lot of people went with him. He was my favorite. And Quackleval, I feel like, is the slayest starter we've gotten. But I almost always pick the water starters. But I love Quaxley. Here we go. I'm excited. Turnabout beginnings. The girl. Let her go. Uh-oh. Music is a bit quiet. I can turn it up then. I could probably actually just turn the music up in the game, actually. I forgot that's a thing you can do. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. That girl looks familiar. That one girl we defended one time that kept turning her back on us. As soon as I can pause the game, I can actually turn the music up. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Wait, was this the... What? Terry Falls, charged kidnapping, murder, sentence, death penalty. After escaping, Falls met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. This is so different. We don't normally get it like this. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. I'm excited. 6 years earlier, Mia Fey. Wait, are we actually getting a flashback? Another flashback trial? Also, I can turn the music up too. Hold on. I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. It really is a flashback episode. Hold on. I guess we'll turn it up to 3. You said the sound effects are good? This wouldn't let me let you move by boxes, but you know, at least it's something. Okay, good. I never should have accepted this case. Eek. Good morning. I'm gonna turn down my headset volume a little bit though. I didn't do nothing, I swear. I didn't kill nobody. Terry Falls. My first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago and now a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway? Ugga. I'm sorry. Oh, I wouldn't chew on that. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. But Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Sorry, I told a little lie. Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? Ugga. I'm really sorry. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it, I didn't kill her. I could never do that. Just playing with his little ball. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with the victim. But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. Ha. Oh. Is that Godot? I noticed that chin from anywhere. Oh my god, wait a minute. Oh, we're getting backstory lore. You're not going to figure out the truth by just staring at the guy. I am staring at you. And what are you going to do about it? So he was a crisis gay, please. He bleached his hair. Oh, he's hot, I fear. Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big scary lion's den. I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this stream. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Okay. I'm feeling things. See, they put sexual innuendo. This whole game is about sex. This is just like Resident Evil. It's not about the zombies. It's not about the cases. It's about sex. And I'll die on that hill. Where is Mr. Grossberg? Ha, that old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? Armando. After all, it's me, Diego Armando. I didn't say... So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? No. You've got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine. An escaped death row convict for our first client. Yeah, thanks. I sure wish I could get out of it, though. So wait a minute, though. So what was the case we did when we were... So the case we started the game with, this game, we were defending Phoenix. That wasn't her first case. That was just the first case where we met Phoenix. How old are we here? It's not showing Mia yet, but it was this was 6 years ago. Relax, I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Uh-oh. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. I'm in love, I think. Sharpen those claws of yours, it's go time. A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. I know that smell anywhere. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. Oh, we are gonna girl boss this episode. We're Mia fucking Faye. It's Edgeworth! Oh my god. Oh, and not the Canadian. It's the different judge, too. The one that scared us that one episode. Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Oh my god, even Edgeworth looks like a baby there. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers. Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Faye. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. Babyface Edgeworth. So you're the new prosecutor everyone is talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. I don't know if I can do a Canadian accent. I can try. At 20, Your Honor. I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? Oh my god. I need to message Cherry. Come on, Mia, you can't lose, not to someone younger than you. So she's older than 20 here. Young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? Precisely. That is good, though. He has his coffee cup. That's absolutely him. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death. You got it, kitten. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. Yes, Your Honor, it was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. Wait, though, I'm curious, because Edgeworth had never lost a case until Phoenix Wright came along. So does Mia lose this? A truly horrible crime, I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. Oh, it's babyface Edgeworth. Look at this little baby face. A witness's testimony. Ooh. The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. How many bodies are falling in? So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be... Exactly, the victim, the same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Ah, I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind, to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Ah, the truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Watch yourself, Miss Fay. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice. And I don't think I care for you. You're not our judge. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. So not my dog's barking. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I called the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. Oh my god. Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe, Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Hey, ma'am, you got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're really gorgeous. Excuse me? No, seriously, my heart, it's aching for you. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Okay, I got it. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir, right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir, I gotcha. It's okay, Kivo. Also, Kivo, you need to see who is sitting next to us. So this is a flashback case, and it's someone very hot. And he calls us Kitten. And we have Babyface Edgeworth. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. I see. Dusky Bridge map added to the court record. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there. Your Honor, if you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though I were some hoser. Oh yeah, we have the Canadian judge. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. There he is. Okay, now listen carefully, Kitten. Oh, wait. It's like Kitten Tiramisu Kitten. What? Maybe he's talking to Kitten Tiramisu. Because it's in capital. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. So he's not talking to me. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked him, I just now meant what you said, kid. Am I the other woman? Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Literally everyone in this case is hot, except for him. Except for him. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. Now, would the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination, coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. I'm not trembling, it's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, alright, especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me, I mean the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here. Ha, you got me there. But maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you've got, kitten. It's okay, Mia, stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all last night watching. Oh my god. She's a little baby. Also, I'm gonna snooze this last ad. So another ad will be playing probably in about 5 minutes. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Hold it! This unknown person, you have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. What? The defendant. The defendant called her. Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Falls. A note. Why not put that in the testimony, then? A top-secret memo that she left in her desk. According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. It's that detective's fault. He's the one that said unknown person. Yeah, what the hell? Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to. Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. A bridge up in the mountains, but why meet there? Because it is a very important place to the defendant, that's why. What do you mean by that? If you remember, 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Falls. Returning to the scene of the crime, how nostalgic. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. Oh wait, we have to go back. We have to go back. Was the body of the victim discovered right away? Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found the criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great. We even got to say, don't move. We've got you surrounded. Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that? The location was a suspension bridge up in the mountains. So how did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right? I'm also, like, what's also thrown me off guard here is we're also starting the case out in the trial part. I actually just realized that right now. Normally we start with the investigation first. If that's what had happened, then she wouldn't have been killed. She never mentioned the phone call from Mr. Falls, but she left a note on her desk about it. If only I had noticed it earlier, maybe she'd still be alive. I wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone. We might have to go back to that part, because they're kind of like giving us a hint there. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls had a car then. Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, no, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. She looks like Ada Wong. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. What does it matter? She died. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. We're talking about a woman here. You can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back, nice and firm. The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange. Do you? I mean, the lock looks like it's been, like someone stabbed something into it, like that was not a key. Also, we do have an ad starting in about a minute. Let's press it anyway. What did the defendant have to say about this photo? That is weird that she was like placed there, but that's not actually where the knife wound was. But he always says, ma'am, I didn't do it, I didn't do nothing. That's all he says. Nuttin'. I wouldn't say he did nuttin'. At the very least, we know he stole a car. It's just what he always says, Your Honor, and then he always says, sorry, I told a little lie. Or something like that. Well, in any case, it seems he was caught and arrested. Precisely. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. We're gonna have to look at some of the evidence here. That certainly is some impressive police work. Well, no, actually, it was way too close for comfort. We set up that checkpoint just after 5 p.m. We figured that Mr. Falls might just try to run. What do you mean it was too close for comfort? The two of them arranged to meet at 4:30 p.m. And it takes approximately 30 minutes to go from the bridge to the checkpoint. That was kinda close. Any later and Mr. Falls could have slipped right by. Listen up, kitten. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony. A trap? Walk into it carelessly and it'll leave more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh? No, it's not. Well, if you want to have any chance at all, you'd better get some more information. And if you're going to get caught in a trap, it's best to get caught early. You can always look for contradictions afterwards. The ever-famous contradictions. I sure hope I can find some of those. Let's look at some of the stuff here. Stabbed with a knife in the back, died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. This is the river. So that car was where he went to. And she was stabbed in the back. Okay. February 14th, 1:21 p.m. Falls, 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Interesting. Who's Dahlia, is what I want to know. But he says there's nothing strange in this picture. I think there is. I just... Thank you for the sub, Nicole. Also, welcome in. I hope you've been doing well. Oh, there's no white scarf. Kiva, see, this is why people are here. Also, Nicole, there is a very, very hot guy helping us in this case. I mean, like, 10 out of 10. We've technically already met him in the future, but he's without his mask here, and he's very hot. No white scarf. So I think that's what we present, actually, Kivo. You're right. Let's do that. Here's a photo thunk, but I don't see anything strange. Do you? Yes, we do. So we present this. Witness. What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye? I'm sorry, I totally forgot what I was going to say. This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that. You should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this. There he is, that's the hot guy. Say there, little kitten, want a piece of my coffee candy? Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. Come on, Mia, shake it off, you're a lawyer. Him flirting with us is not helping. I'm getting very distracted. Detective. Yes, ma'am? This photo. You said that there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? That's what I said. Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim. The note? It very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus, the special request. Do you want to win this case or take me to dinner? Make up your mind. I have one very simple question for you, Detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. And you stopped there? You should have looked for it. The caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so I'd expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this? I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you are searching so desperately for, is it this one perchance? It's not white, that's a blue scarf. Where did you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation. Why didn't you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know. That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic. It's not exactly white, as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for. It looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising, it was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth, he was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. The court will accept the scarf into evidence. Worn by the victim at the time of the incident, found on Dusky Bridge. Now, if the attorney for the defense has finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is all right with you, isn't it, Miss Faye? Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively and with hard evidence that Ms. Hawthorne and Mr. Falls did indeed meet on that bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Everything is moving at his whim. Don't forget, kitten, there's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. A genius, huh? Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Shoved the victim down from behind? There's no way to do that in that photo because behind her was like no bridge. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Looking at this photo. Oh wait, never mind. Although still though, how would he get behind her? You really get the sense that this bridge is very high up. It is about a 40-foot drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Let's just say that it was a well-intentioned third party. Ah, potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Yeah. Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel them to testify. Was Dahlia... Wait a minute. Was Dahlia the girl from the first case? Because remember she acted like she knew Mia. Way too delicate. Oh, okay. There's the connection from before. She absolutely does not want to testify. I'm not sure how I feel about that. So as you can see, Terry Falls had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge. Ah, the truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Not again, that's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean, There's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. Who is this eyewitness? She's a college student. Female college student. That's right. Meaning she's female and a college student, ma'am. She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her. Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have the right to cross-examine her. For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statements, that is all. What is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rest on the vague testimony of a female college student. A female college student, eh? It means she's female and a college student, sir. If you absolutely must hear her testimony, you'll have to give us a good reason why. Please tell us about the more decisive evidence in question. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf. The victim is wearing a scarf in that photo, alright. So about the witness who took this photo. What was this person doing all the way in the mountains? Yeah! She was taking photos of wildflowers, apparently. There are many unusual types of flora on that mountain, Miss Faye. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there. Spirits? Now that you mention it, this photo, this cloudy fog-like thing, is it a ghost? I don't believe it. No, Your Honor, no. I don't think it's a ghost. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Drizzling, huh? That's right. There was a light rain coming down. The whole place was dreary. But not as dreary as the mood that's in this courtroom right now. No one's laughing. Looks like a cold front just moved in. In any case. The point is that the area was quite damp. There was even some fog. I even slipped and fell while I was on the bridge. It was really something. Anyway, that criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. How did you do that from behind? Is that part of the witness's testimony as well? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back, and she fell down right on her stomach. I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal. Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? Or does it mean that you pushed someone down like that once? With his mind-boggling tales and the way he said brutal, I wonder if he's Canadian. Save your nasty look for the right person. Huh? Take a look. Poor baby. The court record seems to have wet itself. Hey, watch where you spill your coffee. The court record, huh? That's obviously a clue that. So I think it is what I'm getting at too, because he wasn't facing her back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim, huh? That's what the witness said. Well, it looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. But from what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, ma'am. The area was wet from rain. The bridge was probably wet too. Which would explain why the scarf was all covered in mud, but there's something about this testimony that's still bothering me. Talk about a surprise. I had no idea there was a photo. So what do I do? You really still believe him? Mr. Crybaby, I mean. Of course I do. So the little kitten believes in fairy tales, huh? In that case, the answer is obvious. If what you believe is the truth, then that means that somewhere hidden in that testimony is a contradiction. One huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. That's your chance. I think it is the picture. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. And he kind of hinted that this was where we do the contradiction. No? Really? Your Honor, what do you think about this witness's statement? I don't think anything of it. How about you? I guess I don't think anything of it either. Then we don't have a problem, but we do have a penalty. If there wasn't a problem, couldn't he just let it slide? Yeah, what the hell? What else do we have? Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. But see, we don't know that the victim's name or the witness's name is Dahlia either. I'm gonna save. Fortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Stabbed with a knife in the back. Where is the contradiction? Are there any profiles we can look at? Not really. I'm gonna present the note, I think, maybe. But if that doesn't... Yeah, I might have to... I'm gonna reload, I think. I'm gonna have to look this one up, I fear. I think we're on case 4. Oh, this one's just a part 1 and a part 2. Interesting. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Did I not? I thought I presented that. Present crime photo. Oh. He wanted us to... We were supposed to present this? Why this photo instead of the other one? So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog too. Just a generally soggy atmosphere. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with that soggy atmosphere. But this is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. What is it about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit with the conditions that day? The coat, I guess. Doesn't look muddy and wet like the scarf does. Do we just select it like that? Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's coat? As far as I can see, there is nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Recall the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud. That's exactly right. The other day I fell in a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. Because the real coat probably has evidence on it. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If your honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, your glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet but not muddy. Fortunately, I have yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? The surface of the bridge, huh? A real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Of course I can. Here is the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. The scarf had mud on it. That better be it. The evidence is the scarf. Ah, it should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means that the bridge was obviously covered in mud. Oh, I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. Not? Same to you, buddy. Yeah. Ms. Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Huh? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we? Alright. It's not like he's really giving me a choice here. You're doing pretty well for a little kitten. Mr. Armando, no matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? The false evidence is one of those three. I think they swapped out the coat, because the coat probably has blood and evidence on it. What you said just now, I'm not sure I like that. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said it. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into court. Yeah. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Yes. The false evidence in the case. I would say the witness's photo, if it's referring to the trunk photo, right? That's what I think it is. Because I think the real coat was swapped out. About the photo that the prosecution claims was taken by a witness. Oh, not this one. No, I didn't mean this photo. It certainly seems to show a man in a prison uniform and a woman in a coat. However, we can't tell any more than that from the photo, although there is that too. Are you saying the people in the photo may not be the victim and the defendant? Well, that's certainly a possibility. So perhaps it was another prisoner and policewoman. I admit people have their quirks. Perhaps they were part of a role-playing group. Well, I suppose that's also possible, I guess. You messed up again, kitten. Mr. Armando, there should be something else that's even more suspicious. Now think the whole thing over again. I guess it's the body in the trunk. From this point on, Miss Fay, I will penalize you for making substantiated accusations. Don't do it, Mia. Don't cry until you get home. In any case, this court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into court. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidences. Okay, so it's asking me to pick it again. It has to be the body in the trunk then, right? I am one to get the, you know, I have to go through every wrong answer to find the right one. If the victim really did try to repel her killer, and if she did fall down on the bridge, then you would expect her coat to be dirty. Therefore, the body that was found in the trunk of the car, it was not the body of Valerie Hawthorne. What do you have to say to that, Mr. Edgeworth? Objection. Not only a whisper, but he mixed in a sigh, too. Valerie Hawthorne was more than a simple meter maid. She was a sergeant. There's absolutely no chance that a mistake about her identity could be made. I guess he's right. Did I really get the last thing? Oh my god. I really did. I really did. Hold on. Now I'm embarrassed. It is a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. I mean, also that too. It's all suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. That's true. It's not just true, it's the truth. If there was a truly decisive witness in this case, I'm certain that boy wonder over there would have called them in the first place. The defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all. You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well, please bring forth your witness at this time, then. What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? Now let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. This is it, Mia. The battle begins here. Witness, what is your name and occupation? It's her. Please. Everyone is so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. Oh. When I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double in a dozen donut holes. I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite. Hey, not so fast. Is that like a monocle emote? Wait. Oh, it's a knife. That's so funny. As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. Ms. Fay, you could learn a lot from this man. If he's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me. Sir? Hey, yes, my dear? This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause. Not at all. It's no trouble at all. Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is, Melissa Foster. Liar! Liar. That is a witness protection name. Liza Minnelli lies. I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department. You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct? And you were the one who took this photo, is that accurate? How can you be so mean? Now see here, what are you doing shoving that in her face like that? Huh? But it's just a photograph, it's not like it's something dangerous. Fakey his last name. Next time I'll be forced to penalize you. Uh-oh. I don't like the turn this has taken. Ooh, is it gonna be one of those where, like, we press too much, they're gonna get mad? Is she staring at me? And you would be... Huh? I'm the defense attorney. My name is Mia Fey. I see. So you are. Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best. The butterflies. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then, I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I heard and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police. By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred? I believe the map would be of help here. I was standing right over here. I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs. Obviously, that's a lie. Because she was the killer. She was on the other side of that cliff. So you took the photo from that location, eh? I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to. Oh, what a cute camera, just like its owner. Melissa Foster, please. And my name is actually not Mia Fey, it's Rebecca Michaels. Or Heather Smith. Alright then, Ms. Fey, time for your cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. I wonder if they're serious. I'm gonna save, because if we're gonna be petty like that... If we're gonna be petty... I mean, we'll find out. Did you say wildflowers? Yes, the mountain is famous for its beautiful spring wildflowers. But it's only February. Well, I couldn't wait for spring to come. I know just how you feel. It's just like when I first started growing this glorious beard of mine. I just couldn't wait, so I wore a dyed blonde Santa beard until mine grew in properly. Would you mind if we got back to the facts of the case, Your Honor? Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Was there anything strange about the two of them? I'm a bad girl, I know I am. It looked like they were having a really serious conversation up there. So I decided to watch them, like some kind of peeping Tom. Not at all, everyone is like that. I love watching other people fight too, in fact, I can't get enough of it. Actually, that's why I took this job in the first place. Too much info, Your Honor. In any case, it's perfectly natural for you to have kept watching them, especially dressed as they were. Well, anyway, I was watching them very closely. Suddenly, they just started fighting. Do you have any idea what they were fighting about? No, I have no idea. Why do you ask that? Oh, I just thought that maybe you overheard what they said. Not her crying, are you kidding me? I would never eavesdrop. I've got more class than that. You just said you were eavesdropping! That's right, Miss Fey, don't drag the witness down to your level. That's when I heard and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. Why did you take a photo? Well, the two of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a news reporter. I guess that part of me just kind of took over. Smells like a lie to me. Yes, I understand completely. Even now, I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams. I still use my grandson to test my comedy routines on. So he wanted to be a comedian, huh? Not that it has any bearing on this. All I could do was use my camera, so I took the photo of the crucial moment and gave it to the police. How did you know if it was a crucial moment if you didn't know what they were talking about? And right after that, I called the police. You called the police? Yes, because it looked to me like the murderer was going to try to escape. We were already moving before the call even came in. Thanks to the victim's note, we had already started our operation. That was certainly tough luck for the criminal. If Terry Falls isn't the criminal, then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Be careful, kitten. That girl has the judge wrapped right around her little finger. You're going to have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers. You're going to have to come up with something really good, Mia. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. What's weird is this doesn't look like a crucial moment to me. And I'm wondering if that's what we're trying to, like, you know, this isn't showing us much at all, really. I'm wondering if it's that. Yeah. Witness, when you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I can see in this photo are two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally that's the kind of thing we would refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that? Well, you see, the photo we presented was the only one there was. But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. My apologies, young lady, but Ms. Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit. He can certainly downplay a situation, can't he? I'm sorry. I'm a very bad girl. I used it all up. The film, I mean. You ran out of film? This photo was the last one. What? Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all of the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself, playing among the wildflowers. The witness herself? Then who took the photos? Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it. So you took photos of yourself. I remember taking some photos of myself once too. Please, no details. Seriously. It seems that Ms. Faye's assertion was not so decisive after all. Wait, just a minute. Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh? Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Who hasn't taken some photos? Well, I don't want to think about those kinds of photos from that judge, basically. Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet. Very well then, let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed. Yes, Mr. Judge. Boy, this guy is really a sucker for sweet talk. It looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Is that you, Kitten Tiramisu? Stealing my man? Yeah, it's sickening. It's sickening. I was using my camera to take... Oh, wait. I'm getting distracted. That Diego, I swear to God, my brain just goes smooth when he starts talking. Like, what were we talking about? So we contradicted. Oh wait, she changed her testimony. The victim turned around and tried to run away, but she only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Is Armando the father of another coffee-loving mass weirdo? I think it's him, actually. We don't know it for sure, but I think it is him. The victim, why do you think she tried to run away? With her police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal. This was a large, powerful man with a knife. If it had been a quaggy woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. What did you just call me? Someone look that up. What does that mean? Quaggy? If it had been me, I probably would have jumped into the river. There's still something wrong with this testimony. She only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him? Well, it's a narrow bridge and it was swaying back and forth. If you ask me, both of them were in danger of falling off. It means fat? He called us fat? Oh my god. If you ask me, both of them were in danger of falling off. I only wish I could have done something to help her. His brain is flabby. Also, welcome in Understated Diva. That seems to make sense. I wonder about that. Something seems kind of off. Does it now? You have a good sixth sense. When you feel that something's off, that's when you need to figure out why. If Terry Falls isn't the criminal, then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Be careful, kitten. That girl has the judge wrapped right around her little finger. You're going to have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers. You're going to have to come up with something really good, Mia. So... The victim turned around and tried to run away, but she only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. The map does show... Like, you can see like that little thing is showing like 5 yards. She wouldn't have been able to really run 10 yards, right? Because the bridge was broken. I think that's what they're wanting us to get at here. Yeah. Witness, your testimony is a joke. Huh? What? But I just... Ms. Faye, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. One short testimony and 2 bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse. You say there were 2 contradictions. It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the 2 of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well then, she would have hit a dead end. You said 10 yards, but she couldn't have ran even 5, because Dusky Bridges collapsed on that side. Why were they on the bridge at all, if that's the case? What does all this mean? It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court. Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. What do you mean? There's one major mistake in this diagram. What did you say? What are you referring to? It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it. So you're saying... I'm saying that even though this bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that you can prove, or that can prove, that the bridge was broken during the incident. That's ridiculous. You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. That guy is good. What do you mean? He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, all right. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy. What? That coward? Well, Miss Faye, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation. I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself. No. It wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish once and for all what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. All right, young lady, may I ask you to please proceed with your testimony? But it's so hard to go on. We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. Liar, fake. Her name's a fake. Everything about her's fake. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. What? Witnessing such violence must have been difficult. Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up. If he accepts this testimony as it is, we're finished. Don't say that. She does kill the butterflies. She at least lit them on fire once that we knew of. Oh well, maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really great mocha latte. This trial isn't over yet. That's what I like to hear. Alright, Miss Faye, your cross-examination, if you please. The contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Are you saying that the victim didn't fall down on the bridge? Actually... Ooh. Of course she didn't fall down on the bridge. If she had fallen down, this photo wouldn't make any sense. If that was the case, her coat would have been all muddy. If you don't mind, I was asking the witness. But didn't Gumshoe testified that she fell down or whatever, I thought. No need to be so rude. Well, young lady. Of course she didn't fall down. The man in the prison uniform grabbed her before she could. Huh, we're one step too slow. And then what did the defendant do after that? Then he carried her over to the car. You personally witnessed that? Yes. Did anything strange happen when he did that? Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell off. You mean this scarf? Her words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem. I think that is a problem, because it was off in the photograph, wasn't it? Before all of this happened. Or maybe I'm misremembering. Hold on. It's off there. It is on there. Okay, never mind. Okay. You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself? Yes. Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Yes, but let's remember they were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that? Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That kind of talk is just silly. Wow, why did he get so emotional all of a sudden? Miss Faye, if you think there's some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard, wouldn't it? Yes, but that mountain is famous among hikers. A surprising number of people go up there. But it's February, right? And it was raining that day, correct? There is also a small temple and a channeling dojo there. You know, those monks, they just love cold, isolated places. I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse could have been found at any time. Besides, the witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. And you're absolutely certain that it was my client who was carrying the body? Well, he was wearing a prisoner's uniform, but as for his face... So you're saying you didn't get a clear look at his face? Well, they were far away and it was raining as well. I thought I was only supposed to say exactly what I saw. Excellent, you're a remarkably honest young woman. Something about this testimony is bothering me, but what? Hey, kid. Have you ever put salt in your coffee? No, why would I? Why not? Huh? It may actually go better with coffee than sugar, right? Listen, my point is if you're not sure, you might as well add a ton of salt to it. It might bring out the rust in something, like a piece of evidence. He's right, Mia. Go present something. You've got nothing to lose. Actually, I do. I have my penalty bar. By the way, I wouldn't put salt in my coffee. The two don't go well after all. Do people actually do that? If you put a pinch in the grounds, it makes it less bitter. So, like, you put it in with the grounds before you brew the coffee. That's interesting. I kind of like the bitterness, though. I don't know. That is weird. It kind of sounded like Mia is really not believing about, carrying her to the car. Like this part. You personally witnessed that. Yes. Did anything strange happen when he did that? Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell off. You mean this scarf? Her words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself? Yes. Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Yes, but let's remember they were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that? Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That kind of talk is just silly. Wow, why did he get so emotional all of a sudden? If you think there's some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us. It just really seems like there's something there that they want us to say that, like, oh, that couldn't have happened, you know? But I'm not quite... I mean, he also had a ball and chain around his leg. I don't know if they want us to, like, question that. Well, I don't know that we know the exact time she died. It says she died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. I have an idea of what I want to present, because I feel like he has that ball and chain around his leg, and I feel like we should be talking about that. Let's see. I had to look it up. Present Dusky Bridge map to that statement. What? I guess what they're wanting us to say is, like, he could have just pushed her body off the river, like, or not off the river, off the bridge. I guess. I wasn't thinking that way, unfortunately. A killer not wanting his victim to be found, I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Well, what is it? Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below that bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. Oh, see, I'm forgetting stuff that was said 5 minutes ago. In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at that same spot above the Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water. That's how he allegedly killed the person before that. You think he'd do it again? Yeah. Order. I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Faye, but I must admit it does seem odd not to have thrown the body into the river. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? How sad. Perhaps Miss Faye would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Quite true. Miss Faye, it seems that your assertion is without merit after all. No. But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous. Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car. That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us. Ugh. Please, witness, go on with your testimony. I'll try. All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again. Who is he talking about? All right, I'll do my best. Oh, this is... Okay, so did she update her testimony? After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. He couldn't just leave the body on the top of the bridge. Okay, so this was the updated testimony. What did the man do then? Well, naturally, he got in the car and was about to flee. That's when I came to my senses. I said to myself, you have to call the police. And so that's when you called the police. You're sure that you saw all that with your own eyes? Yes, I'm 100% certain. I wonder if we present the crime photo? I mean, it does look like it was broken into. It's just like, if this was the testimony that was added, what else would we present here other than that? And how would he have had time to do that? Really? That statement contradicts this evidence. Oh, really? Alright. Or we're supposed to press something else. Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard, wouldn't it? Yes, but that mountain is famous among hikers. A surprising number of people go up there. But it's February, right? And it was raining that day, correct? There was also a small temple and channeling dojo there. You know, those monks, they just love cold, isolated places. I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse could have been found at any time. Besides, the witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. Do we have anything? Like, they added this, and it's not, we're not presenting the photo. So, yeah, her camera has a timer function, but she said that this photo was the last photo she was able to get because she ran out of film, allegedly. But I do think the timer function is going to come back up later for something as well. See, that's what I was wondering too, Kiva, but it doesn't seem like it's wanting us to go that route with the fact that, like, he has, like, a heavy weight keeping him down. What I am wondering, if she was over, you know, where the Eagle River text is, she shouldn't have been able to see the car. If that's, you know, where she was. And now I think you can tell that that camera is set up there because there was, like, that picture, that part of the cliff is in the photo. The camera was set up there, but I don't think she was. That's why that timer function is probably important. Yeah. Yep, I'm glad I figured it out. I'm so smart. Well, Miss Foster, it looks like you've done it this time. Done what? Made a crucial mistake. A crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Faye? The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your own very own eyes? Yes, and? It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you tried to see the car, this outcropping of rock is directly in the way. Oh, I'm so smart. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car. That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine. No. I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Hi, Zever. Also, Zever, we're in a Mia case, and we have a very, very hot guy helping us. Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car. Order in the court. What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo? And babyface Edgeworth too. We're in the past. Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes. Mr. Judge, what is it? I think I must have remembered things wrong. Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that. Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect. Yes, indeed. Quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here. What? That's not fair. Fuck this judge. Also, I want to fuck him. Save the tears for later, kitten. Mr. Armando. Don't look back until the trial is over. Now is the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair. Okay, kitten, you need to relax. Then you need to remember. And he calls us kitten. The other kitten's testimony. She is not a kitten. That is a nasty rat. Is that the mask guy? We're not 100% sure yet. I think it is. They're definitely related in some way. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. And this is the girl from the first episode that is lying about her name right now. So tell me, how did she know that? How did she know that he broke into the trunk? Ah. Well, Miss Foster, only until you can explain how you knew that, you're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom. Well, witness? Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk. Because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain that they were scratch marks from when he broke into it. What? Let me see that photo. It's true. These certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied? This judge is on her side. I can't make any mistakes here. What she just said, is there a contradiction in somewhere? Ooh, well, let's save. She's certain... I want to say it doesn't work. Melissa Foster. That judge is cursed. I hate him. He's not our judge. It looks like you finally betrayed yourself. What? You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers. But even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when. When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally. I finally got her. I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. Then perhaps it would be faster if Miss Faye explained herself. Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was... Ooh. She happened to be passing by. She put the corpse in herself. He is the owner of the car. I think it could be really either of these. Now I know, we know she's the killer. I want to say it's the second one because we know she put the corpse in. I wonder what's going to happen if we say that. There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches. Yes, what is it? Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it? That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the prison garb. He's the one that... I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Falls had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open. But he stole the car. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have still been in the ignition. Oh, I see. Are we really doing this? Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. That it couldn't have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk. Preposterous to even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time, she was taking photographs. She was not where the camera was, that's the thing. We know that because of the timer. Now is your chance, Mia, finish this thing. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself. Yes, because it's on a timer. It's on a timer. Let's take another look at this camera and see what it features it has, shall we? It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why? It's almost as if she had brought this camera just to take this picture. What are you trying to say then, Miss Fay? That when the crime occurred, Ms. Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? Well, if she really did use the camera's auto timer, then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in the field. Please. Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Ms. Foster when the incident occurred? If answering that question will also make clear Ms. Foster's true identity. Well then, please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred? So, do we say, like, here? Or do we say she's, like, right here? Because if we're saying that she's the killer... I don't know. Naturally, the witness was standing right here. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I feel like we picked wrong. Before pointing out where the witness was standing, Miss Fay should do something herself. I'm gonna save, because we're gonna lose some points here. She should figure out where she stands if you catch my drift. Oh, don't worry, the drift was certainly caught. Yes, failure is an excellent opportunity for growth, and I'll try better next time. Is it gonna let us do then? Okay. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred? She couldn't have been on the other side, I don't think, because then how would she have gotten over? Although they said the bridge wasn't broken at the time. I don't know. We'll say this, maybe the car. Maybe she was doing the... In the spot where the defendant's car was. Yeah, she had to put the body in the trunk before the defendant returned. You don't mind if I ask one teeny-weeny question, do you, Miss Fay? Uh-oh, he's got that condescending tone in his voice. If she put the body in the trunk at that time, as you suggest, that must mean that Valerie Hawthorne was already dead at that point, correct? Indeed. Please take a look at the top of Dusky Bridge. It certainly looks to me like the victim is still alive. Am I mistaken? So the picture wasn't taken at the same time, though. If Valerie Hawthorne was already dead, then who is this? The mountain is famous for spirits, so maybe you think it was the ghost of the victim? Well, it could have been a spirit, right? Ms. Fay, don't waste the court's time with this. Oh. Really? Really? Okay, so we're gonna lose those points, but I'm not gonna lose extra points. So where was she then? I'm gonna have to look this up because I don't know. I'm trying to see which part we're at. Oh, okay. So she was staging to be the victim. I see what... So they were kind of giving us that hint with that most recent one. Interesting. Naturally, the witness was right here, but that's where the victim is. Hawthorne was standing. It's because it's a fake photo, basically. Order, Miss Faye, what on earth? They kind of alluded to that, too, earlier. Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim. True. How asinine. Of course Mr. Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Then who exactly is the victim in this photo? I think it's her. Like, I think it's Melissa. It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. What? It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Falls met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster. Me? Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the one whose testimony helped get him convicted. His butterflies are in danger, please. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. You are just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? I've got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. We do? Oh my god, 3 points? At the time of the incident, Mr. Falls had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like. I mean, he did tell her to wear a scarf so he would recognize her, right? So that he knew it would be her. I feel like that has to be it, right? I swear to God, though, it better make us present this and not the actual scarf. Or wonder if it is. I have to look this up because it's the scarf. Is it the scarf? It's the scarf. But it's like I had the right idea because it's in her memo was showing to wear the scarf. It's like same thing. Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification, namely this muddy scarf. Ah. It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear the scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? No. Oh, she fades away. Fainted. Oh, she passed away. Where's Miss Foster? She's collecting herself in the lobby. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. Well, this isn't the same judge, Waffle. This is the Canadian judge. We're like in the past as well. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit. But we don't have a motive yet. That's also the other problem. We don't have a motive. Huh. Yeah, we're in the past to Mia's first case as a lawyer. We'll have to wait for Ms. Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are both to wait in their respective lobbies. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well, this court is in recess. I think this is a good part to save at, because we've been going for about 2 hours anyway, so yeah. And then I think we're gonna finish. I'm not kidding. I think we are gonna finish this trial tonight because I'm like semi following a guide when I'm getting stuck. There's just a part 2, and that's it. So we should finish this. So was not expecting that tonight, but that is fine by me. But first, I am gonna take a quick BRB. I think I'm gonna refill my drink and run to the restroom. Maybe grab a snack real quick. So I will be right back. BRB. All right, I am back. Actually, I need to send a text message real quick, and then I'll be back. Hold on. So I was texting my sister something. Okay. All right, now. Yeah, we should finish this tonight, which is kind of exciting. But then the game's gonna end sooner, which I was not prepared for. Oh, we have one more episode after this, but still. Thank you, kitten. Please, this guy. Mr. Falls. Oh. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I want to say thanks, you're real good. You really hooked me up. Thanks, we're almost there. Once I prove that she committed the crime. Oh, I love him. But there's one more big obstacle we've got to get past. Obstacle. Yeah, motive. Yep, I said it. I'm getting good at this. It always comes down to the motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information, right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is in death row for. I didn't do nothing, I didn't kill nobody, I never lie. Mr. Falls, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Okay, I trust you. Oh, he got all serious now. That day 5 years ago, I dream of it every day. This picture, it reminds me everything. Bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Just like it could fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years. Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any minute. It true. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. Interesting. So he's involved with her. But how does he not recognize her on the stand, if that's the case? Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne? The victim's last name. Was her name Hawthorne in the first case? I knew it was Dahlia. So they were related? Dahlia Hawthorne, Valerie's little sister. She killed her older sister? Oh my god. Are you serious? The girl, let her go. Shut up, come closer, and I kill her. So there's Valerie. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. At first I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it. Wrong. No protect sister. Valerie betray me. Betray us. What do you mean she betrayed you? Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping, too. A make-believe kidnapping. Dahlia, my girlfriend, my love, my teen angel. Oh, did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas. I hope of legal age. Teen angel. How old is he? 25. 5 years ago, she would have been 14. No. Absolutely not. He can stay in prison. Unless this is like, you know, like a what was that? The Orphan, where she's like actually not that young, and she's like a serial killer, like pretending to be a college student. I think porn meaning no teen. This game is wild. But this, so just so people that don't know, so Melissa Foster, that is not her name. We were in the past in the first case on this game, and it's Dahlia. And Mia does get her locked up for a different murder. Like, she's crazy. She is a murderer. But he's also, should also be in prison for other reasons. Anything Dahlia says, hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by, yeah, me and Dahlia, and Valerie too. Valerie was in on it. Dahlia's family rich, jewelry business, we get 1 jewel, that's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note, we send to her dad. Ask for $2 million diamond, tell him make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer cause she knew detective. I love that he's like a caveman. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright. In the end, you were planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman... Oh. That woman, Valerie, she'd do it for real. She shoot at me for real, me and Dahlia. So I need to fix my camera. There we go. I was shot in arm. Dahlia, she jump in river. But she's alive. None of the... Okay, now I'm like confused. Jump. You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me. That man, Terry Falls, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river 40 feet below. So she's like a nasty too. They're all nasty. These 5 years, all I wonder is why? Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forget what she looked like, so I tell her to wear a scarf. I don't want to hurt her, just ask why. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear answer come from her mouth, that's all. So that's why. That's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, Zebra Boy. My senses are tingling all over, tell me. Mr. Falls, where is it? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? I don't know. Huh? You don't know. No, really, I don't know. It's gone with Dahlia. With Dahlia. That day on the bridge, Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone with Dahlia, gone forever. Into Eagle River. There's no way she... I mean, she jumped knowing she was gonna get out. Or live, I mean. It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. You can come back in now, we're about ready to go. Mr. Falls, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne. Never found her, my sweet Dahlia. They never found her. Swallowed by river, gone, Dahlia, my teen angel. He was 20 when she was 14. That's not right. Your teen angel. How old was she anyway? Just 14. 14? I guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. Yeah, it's also illegal. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth 2 mil. Man, oh man, angels these days. Falls takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel, or is she really... Oh, I forgot to read that part. The training wheels come off now, Mia. You've got to strike while the iron is hot. That's one of my rules, remember it. So what could her motive be? If she knew that he escaped, he would, you know, try to get information about the diamond, so killing her sister was the solution to that? I don't know. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Witness, are you feeling better? Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best. You're a brave young lady. Not this again. I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. She wanted the jewel herself. I think that's why she jumped. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime, that's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. Her motive, huh? I figure that's what I had to establish next. Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive? Well, let's save again. Because we're not doing too great on our health right now. Yes, of course, I think. You're still acting as tame as a kitten. Mr. Armando. Listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro. Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that. No, I want him to keep doing it, actually, Mia. Excuse me, may I speak, Mr. Judge? Of course, Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like. I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why. I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true. I am shrimping for Diego. The judge is also shrimping for her. I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady. It looks like this witness is a real professional. What do you mean? Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up. Yep. But I mean, I am actually. Just not, we're, you know, simping for different people. Very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say. I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I had never been to Eagle Mountain before. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. Or kidnapping a poor girl. I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile. You bet. Somehow I have to tie her to this case. 'Cause she's not Melissa Foster. I was out of the country until the year before last. So what country were you living in then? We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed... She killed her whole fucking family. She's literally like that orphan girl from that orphan movie. It was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone. What? I lost everything. I didn't even have any personal identification. What kind of sob story is this? What do I do? Should I press her for details? Yeah. Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in? We do deserve to know that. Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. What we're here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case. I've lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Falls or Detective Hawthorne. Yes, I think we've established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what you've just stated to the official testimony? Yes, please, Mr. Judge. Naturally, I didn't know either the victim or the defendant. Interesting. You didn't know either person? Are you certain of that? Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people. Oh well, that can't be helped. Why is he just agreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth? The first time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct? Yes, it really was a coincidence. Do we have anything to prove? Until I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway? I just love being outdoors. Picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing. You don't look like much of a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of sorts. Ooh. But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here, and no train runs through here. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to. Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold yet romantic gloominess. Didn't know you were such a goth. By the way, what's the name of your college? The prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. All that matters is that she is a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious in intent. Thank you, she's really gone too far. Miss Faye, you're treading on thin ice here. I hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car. Well, that's... Unfortunately, Miss Faye, your last statement proves nothing. Oh, really? And why is that? Did she go to spy college or something? The witness came to the police station once to identify the suspect. I think she's just a phony. It's entirely possible that at that time, an officer showed her this photo. That seems like a rather serious mistake. Yeah. That's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book. That's not fair. That wicked inmate, I'll never be able to forget that horrible day. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. A grudge. Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death. Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful, your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot about the poor policewoman as well. I mean, it sounds like he also forget what his girlfriend looked like because it's you. What do you mean by that? Your client. He forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well. Well, she's right about that. Mr. Falls is kind of forgetful. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What did you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right? Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. What if he's, I forget what it's called, but there are people who are face blind. It's a very rare, like, I think it's like a disorder where, like, you don't recognize people by their face. And that seems kind of scary. You basically see everyone as, like, faceless mannequins. I know there's a name for it. It's like a real thing. If I had been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me. That's true. He's clearly a bitter man. But I think this is like alluding to the fact that she probably, after this happened, changed up her look and looks like this now. And I'm not even kidding. Like the other little side comments about her, I didn't know you were such a goth. She probably was a goth before this happened. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. What should I do with that last statement? We'll have it added. I forget what it was, but we're gonna add it. Your Honor, what the witness said just now was tremendously important. I'd like it added to the official testimony. The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and a mentally unbalanced one at that. The testimony only helps to further prove that point. No, that's not why I... Enough. Witness, if you would. My pleasure, Mr. Judge. Oh, so we added this. I don't know that that's important. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. What do you mean by lucky? Well, it's February now. Everyone is wearing scarves. If I had accidentally worn the white scarf like he said, then you yourself might have been killed. That would have been a terrible loss for this world. It looks like you pressed too hard this time, kitten. Mr. Armando, keep looking around you and you're going to lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when not to talk. Yeah, I have that issue. Kidnapping a poor girl, I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. You knew about that incident, but weren't you out of the country until the year before last? Well, I saw a report about the escaped convict on the news. They had an in-depth report about his whole history. So you were still living abroad 5 years ago, is that right? Yes. I can't let her get away with these lies. Listen to me, she's neck deep in this whole thing. Somehow, you're just going to have to get her to show the court her true self. Yeah. I wonder, is there a way we can get that other testimony removed? I don't think so at this point. A grudge. Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death. Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful, your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well. Oh. So we can't take that testimony back, I guess. See, the victim's note. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Why does she know it's a white scarf? True. That is very true. Although, I guess Armando... Armando kind of insinuated that, this was silly adding it to it, but you're actually not that far off, because that's happened a lot before, because when other witnesses come up, they don't necessarily see what other evidence was presented beforehand. You might not be wrong here. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf, because how did she know what was in the memo? I'm gonna save, and then I'm gonna try to present that, and then if it's not that, I might have to look about it, because I don't know if she does know about the white scarf, or that, you know, I don't know if she knows that the victim was told to, you know, to wear that. I mean, she does know, but she's acting like she doesn't, is the contradiction. Yeah. I think you got it, Diva. It's true. Mr. Falls did give instructions to Valerie Hawthorne about their meeting. The note that she left said, wear white scarf for identification. Yes, what about it? Isn't it obvious? Doesn't it strike you as odd? That note was a secret piece of evidence. How is it that the witness knows about it? Order. It is odd, isn't it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, did you show top secret evidence to the witness? Your Honor, I certainly never gave anyone permission to do such a thing. In that case, the only way the witness could know about the note would be... she's Dahlia. That's how she knows. Just a moment. Of course I didn't know about the note. It's just... I saw it when it happened, with my own eyes. Yeah, you saw that she was wearing a scarf, but you're not supposed to know that the note told her to wear that. But it's the fact that you were told about it because Valerie is your sister and you are Dahlia Hawthorne. When the victim went to see the killer, she used her own scarf to signal him. But you're not supposed to know that. That's why I assumed that the signal was a white scarf. I suppose that makes sense. Come on, Mia, you can't let her weasel out of it that easily. Witness, sorry, but your explanation isn't going to work here. But why? It's true. That's what I saw. Because the scarf was blue. I swear to God, if this is not it, I will scream. You've said several times in your testimony that the victim was wearing a scarf. A white scarf, correct? Yes. Is something wrong? Hey, and in the car there's no scarf, true. That's what I'd like to know, Miss Foster. Have a look at this. It's the victim's scarf. I'm sure people would disagree about what to call this color. However, it certainly is not white. You knew what the note said. She knew the contents of the note? No! Oh, Edgeworth is losing it. It says, wear white scarf for identification. That's the reason why you said it was white. Well, Miss Foster. Ooh, we're getting somewhere. Order, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public, and yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one. The person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person. Did you say one more person? That's right, a person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten? Yup. The third person that knew the contents of the note was... So here's the thing. Are we presenting Dahlia? Because the note says Dahlia. I want to make sure, because I don't want to lose three health points. I cannot lose. Okay, yeah, it's Dahlia. That's what I figured. And then we're gonna... And then we're gonna connect it. Mia is a Discord kitten. I'm the Discord kitten. He's talking to me. Dahlia Hawthorne. I've never heard that name before. Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There is her name right there. What's this? So who is this person? This Dahlia Hawthorne. She's standing right in front of us. Miss Faye must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean... Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. No, she jumped off the bridge. You said she was killed, but was she really? What are you implying? Of course, people thought she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off of Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. You know what I've noticed? In this version of Edgeworth, in the past, he is mimicking Von Karma's mannerisms more. He doesn't do it as much now. But right here he is. I find that kind of odd. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster. I believe that's the same age you are. Objection! Even you couldn't. Ms. Faye, you're not sane. But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Ms. Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. But unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. I understand. If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now is my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm. Witness, just who are you anyway? Is he gonna shut this crowd up? I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness. Yes, I understand. What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far. You don't mean... Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses. What did he say? It looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go. That should be illegal. How is that not illegal? But then why? If you hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to the victim's younger sister, Ms. Dahlia Hawthorne. Unbelievable. That should be illegal. But I thought she died 5 years ago. We thought so as well, but, well, as you can see... Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years? That has nothing to do with the current case. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime. Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder? Really, Ms. Faye, I must say, your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost. How dare you? Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious, her big sister. Miss Faye must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her. What? I think this little girl murdered her whole family. I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Fay, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would this witness have for killing her beloved sister? Well, you see, I thought I was winning, but somehow it turned around on me. I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim. That wasn't me. It was this guy, this crazy coffee addict. I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. Old man? What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets. I am sweating bullets. You think you're in a tough spot, huh? Of course, aren't I? No. You've just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you. Up to me. The rashness of youth, how charming. Edgeworth, you are 20 years old. Sit down. This coming from someone younger than me. Now then, let's not waste any more time. Miss Fay? Okay. Oh, God. I wish it would let me say before it make me pick. It's The Rock, though, right? It's The Rock. It has to be The Rock. Right? What is this? Is this the defense's idea of a joke? If so, I certainly don't get the punchline. Well, Miss Fay? Oh, that was the rashness of youth. Did I really fuck up? What? It is not The Rock? God, now we have to save. Because we just can't mess up anymore. What is your point in furthering such a stereotype? That witness stayed hidden for 5 years, kitten. There must be a good reason for that. And somehow it must involve Valerie Hawthorne. Okay, one more time. Yeah, you gotta read the court record more carefully this time. How is it not The Rock? I guess it's the fact that he escaped? Or the note says we'll reveal the truth this time. There's that. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. That'd be the motive for killing her. I'm fussy. I don't agree with this. She didn't want the truth to come out, I guess. The story starts after Terry Falls escaped. He called Valerie and he told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth. The whole truth. There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie. To keep her mouth shut permanently. Yeah, there's an ad playing. A terrific story, Miss Fay, if you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Fay. What was the secret that was so important? Where's your evidence? Now it's The Rock. Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne and Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them all. Oh yes, I know this secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago, we believe it will explain a lot of things, such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. Very well, I'll grant your request for further testimony. I know it'll be painful for you, but can you enlighten us once more, my little maple leaf? Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge. Putting on the old charm one more time, Dahlia. But this will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles. Actually, it won't be, unfortunately. Okay, 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister, Valerie, brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. Oh, please. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. The kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe after all that she murdered her sister? Preposterous. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Ms. Fay? Yes, Your Honor. As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination. Mr. Edgeworth got the jump on me again. If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up, we've still got that info, that ace up our sleeve. What info? Come on, kitten, don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. Yes. That's right, it was a fake kidnapping. Terry Falls told us that in the lobby. I do anything she says, anything Dahlia says. What you're saying is that kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by, yeah, me and Dahlia and Valerie too. Yes. That's it. That fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's her secret. This is getting so good. Okay, let's save again, because we're on 1 health left here, which is pretty on brand for me. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. Did you and Mr. Falls have a relationship? Yes, as a tutor. You were tutoring him, Mr. Falls? No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Mr. Falls came to the house to tutor me. Oh, I find that so hard to believe. He does not have... I don't think he has the intellect to be a tutor. 5 years ago, she was only 14. He probably came up with the kidnapping plan during that time. The Hawthorns are in the jewelry trade and are quite wealthy, you see. Quite the clever fellow, that Mr. Falls. Did I hear him right? Did he just call Mr. Falls a clever fellow? The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million. $2 million? It was still uncut, so it was about the size of a pint of milk. A $2 million pint of milk. I don't know what to think about that. The defendant demanded that her sister Valerie make the exchange. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual. By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth, why do you think that he wanted to make the exchange up there on that mountain? If he ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape. There's one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. With only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety. What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is. Yeah, right, it was all your plan. Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain and... after she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the heart. That was a dangerous thing to do considering you were being held hostage. Yes, but actually, that saved my life. What do you mean? You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand. Somehow, I just knew he was going to use it. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment. Well, when Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me. I was dazed. I turned to try and run away, but Mr. Falls turned to grab me as well. As I ran past, he and I locked eyes for a second, and he gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin. Bloodthirsty grin, ooh. And then the next instant... Girl, you jumped off. Let's be real. I advise the court to remember that the river is 18 feet deep and incredibly swift. I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I had been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. The crumbling bridge, nowhere to run, then just one little shove from behind. That was it. Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. And that's why you hid your identity? Yes. I only told my sister... Oh. Valerie Hawthorne, eh? Yes, she's the only one who knew about me. Meanwhile, legally, this witness has been deceased for 5 years. I didn't ever want something like that to happen to me again. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. And that new identity was Melissa Foster, right? Yes, my sister helped me get the official paperwork taken care of. That makes sense. Without an insider's help, doing all of the paperwork would have been impossible. She was the only person left in the world I could count on. And you think I killed her? There's no way I could. It's the moment of truth for this witness, too. Once the truth about this staged kidnapping comes out, everyone in the court will know how much of a Jezebel she really is. Please. I've just got to prove that kidnapping was a hoax. Does The Rock say that it was a hoax? Like, what do we have that shows that it was staged? I mean, the diamond says used as ransom. This doesn't make sense. If she gave the diamond to them and then shot him, that doesn't seem... I feel it'd be hard for him on the ground to push her. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. Had to look this one up. But you are kind of right, though. Because it's the map. From behind. It's the from behind part that's odd to me. You say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said, that's hard to believe. I should have said, that's impossible. Impossible? I asked if the court recalled the condition of Dusky Bridge now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. If someone had pushed you from behind, as you have claimed... Instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. A most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. She hasn't lit the butterflies on fire yet. Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. That would still, like, hurt falling in the river from that height, though, wouldn't it? That's like hitting concrete. You're right. If the events occurred just as the witness has testified, then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this? You see, Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct? Now that you mention it, I do remember now. When I fell off the bridge, my skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires. You can't be serious. Order in the court. It seems Ms. Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Ms. Faye's assault. What? I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Ridiculous. What's so impossible about it? Oh, God. Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. I'm afraid I'm gonna die. Fell from bridge, no body found. I have to look at this one too, because it's not letting me save. Witness's photo. Looks like it'd be hard to push someone off from the side because of all the wires. Your Honor, all of the answers are right here in this photo. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. We'll push them through, but it'd be kind of hard. But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. That is true. And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him. At point-blank range. So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge, that is clearly impossible. Order, what is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. What? What is this? The tiger noises. Get him, Mia. Indeed, what do you mean by such a ridiculous remark? Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun in handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide. Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh, then what was it? What was so important that she'd want to jump into the river? The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids of the Eagle River, the diamond. She wanted the diamond for herself. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her, the $2 million diamond. No, it can't be. Yes, Dahlia had it all planned up from the beginning. The $2 million, she was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Why, that's simply ridiculous. Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? This woman is a demon, and there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? Yeah. But she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. That is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia, and then she told her what she was planning to do. She was going to tell the whole truth as she wrote it in her note. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. Uh-oh. Who is that laughing at a time like this? Forgive me, it's just hilarious. A witness? Is that you? You amuse me, woman. Ms. Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally. You have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence? Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14 I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister. Well, And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that. Well, Miss Fey, I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something? How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Well, it seems that we've come to the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I am forced to reject the assertions made by the defense. Save. You're right, thank you. Of course you are. Is this it? Is it really over? I do think Mia does lose this case, though. That girl has made a fool of me, and there's nothing I can do about it. Without evidence, the trial is over. Who decided that? Mr. Armando. Come on now, kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Fall's stolen car, and then went to meet with him. She disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There is only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who is the one person who can testify to that demon woman's crimes? I guess Terry? He hasn't testified yet. Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. A new witness? Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls. The defendant? There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne. Or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia, disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all, and that person is Terry Falls. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this? Why not? The prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand. This is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left. Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it, no way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me. Mr. Falls, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive, and you were used for $2 million. That's not true. Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want the answer to. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne, or was it Dahlia Hawthorne? Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago, she promised never ever betray each other. Terry. Dahlia. It's true. You are alive. You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad. Tell the truth, the real truth. I believed in you. I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there is one thing that I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry. What a bitch. I will allow Mr. Falls to testify once and once only. Well then, Mr. Falls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Witness? I'm sorry, I apologize. Water, please. Water. I can't talk. Need water. Oh well, I guess it'll have to be my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitterer than hell itself. That's Godot. Like, that has to be him now. Who Terry Falls saw. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on Bridge. I watched my car from Bridge. I never put no body in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked, then she left. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia. Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you? That's enough, Ms. Fay. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Well then, Ms. Fay, please proceed with your cross-examination. Is this how you want it to end, Mr. Falls? Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence? There's only one person who can stop it. You can, I think. I don't know how we're gonna stop this one. Who Terry Falls saw. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge. Save again, yeah. Thank you, thank you. According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. You certainly arrived early, didn't you? It was raining, already dark, too. You waited on the bridge for 30 minutes? Mr. Falls. Eagle Mountain, that spot. Strong, strong memories. Why did he just clam up? Could it be he's hiding something here? She wasn't there, so I waited on the bridge. You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct? Yeah, I like waiting. I'm used to it. I'm sure he is. Zebra Boy waited 5 years to ask a single question, to find out why a woman betrayed him. To him, 30 minutes must have been like a blink of an eye. I watched my car from Bridge. I never put no body in that car. You were watching the car? And thank you for the hydrate, DJ. That bridge, other side is broken. Nobody can come from there. So I was watching car. What else were you expecting him to do? I suppose that's the obvious thing to do, but something's bothering me. I'm getting that feeling. A contradiction? I wonder what's on the other side of that broken bridge anyway. No one lives there. There's a small shrine up on the mountain, but that's it. Anyway, nobody came. No car, nothing. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. Mr. Falls, think carefully now. Are you certain that it was Valerie Hawthorne? I never lie. It's the truth. Well, so the picture that was taken shows that he wasn't facing the car. It means that she was already there when he showed up. Because why would they swap places? You know? I never lie, it's the truth. It was Valerie. I remembered her face. Wait a minute. If you had remembered her face, then why did you make her wear a scarf as identification? Sorry, I told a little lie. My God. But the woman I met, she was different from women standing here now. She was different. It was Valerie. We talked, then she left. What did you talk to her about anyway? Mr. Falls. Valerie told the truth about the kidnapping 5 years ago. She said someone needed to take the blame for it. That was all I could think to do. She said that. That's why she lied, got me the death penalty. I mean, Dahlia could have said that too. And were you satisfied with that answer, witness? Dahlia died. It was my fault. But I don't really remember. Maybe I did. Maybe I did push her in. It don't matter no more. Either way, my Dahlia, my sweet teen angel, dead. But you just saw that she isn't dead. After Valerie talked to me on the bridge, nothing left to live for. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia. How can you be so sure? It was raining at the time, and sunset that day was set 5 o'clock. It would have already been pretty dark on that mountain at 4:30. Please, Mr. Falls, this is your last chance. You've already taken the fall once for something you didn't do. That woman, it wasn't Dahlia. Stop right there. What more needs to be said? Even if it means the death penalty, even if it means taking the blame for murder, you'll still do whatever is necessary to protect her, won't you, Mr. Falls? I know it's obvious, but he's clearly lying. He's been cursed by Dahlia Hawthorne. He'll probably go to his grave still believing in her. Mr. Falls. Even if you can show he's lying, the poor guy will still be cursed. You'll still have to point out the contradiction anyway. That's the curse of being a defense lawyer, I guess. Okay. This, I'm almost positive, is the contradiction. And the picture proves that. Let's see. Yeah, it's this. Because if the bridge was broken, she wouldn't have come from that other side. Yeah. So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge. You're sure of that? Yeah, I'm sure. You're sure, huh? Well, then I'm sure too, Mr. Falls. I'm sure that you're lying. Huh? Oh, he's crying. My God. Oh, I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Faye. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right? But that's the victim at the end of the bridge. No. I'm sorry, Waffle. Precisely my point. In other words, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did. Mr. Falls, please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth. I got there around 4 o'clock, it's true. Okay. I had somewhere to go, a special place. Did you go to the special place before you went to the bridge? Yeah, it's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love. A memento. 5 years ago, I hid it under a base of tree there. That's the poison bottle. From the first case, it's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get. She's used that thing to fool people. This little bottle on a necklace is your memento. That's quite charming, but it looks empty. Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock, but he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car. Indeed, there certainly was enough time for it. I've still got a chance. Mr. Falls, there's no mistaking it. Huh, Mr. Falls. What was that? Is he bleeding? That's enough, please. Witness? I promised her 5 years ago. He drank the poison? If it ever happens that we can't trust each other no more, then we're supposed to drink bottle. Stop the trial. Your Honor, we need a recess. We need, like, a medic? I was stupid, couldn't keep promise, so I did it. I drank this. We are so close, just a little more. I was going to prove your innocence. No, don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again. Mr. Falls. Mr. Armando. Thanks for the coffee. So he put the poison in the coffee? Well, not Armando put the poison in the coffee, but Falls did. Oh my God. And so my first trial ended suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul I thought it'd never heal. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. So he didn't technically win either, he just didn't lose. Interesting. This is not how I thought this was gonna go. But one person, the true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne, she left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face. We do end up getting her, though. Actually. Unforgivable, that witch. Mr. Armando. We were so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. That's why he was begging for water. He needed something to put the poison in. Oh my God. You were just a little too soft, kitten. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Don't cry, kitten. You're going to make my coffee all salty. I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Mia. Don't you get it? You can't cry yet. Oh. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Mr. Armando. No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away and eventually forget them. One year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. That was from... Wait a minute. Only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. So that was from the first case of this game, right? The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was... guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect angelic smile on her face. It was finally all over, at least that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something has happened that's made me remember all this. Oh, you can't end there? No! Oh! We will just have to find out more on Thursday, I suppose. With episode 5, Bridge to the Turnabout, which someone earlier today said this is like their hands down favorite case. We'll see about that. Oh, that episode was so good. The Mia trials in this game, the third game, have been like top notch. That was really, really good. It's like coffee addicting. It really is. It really is. But yeah, I was not expecting to finish this episode tonight, but once I saw what kind of trial it was, I was like, oh yeah, it's a flashback. So yeah, but a really good one at that. That was really good. But yeah, we will have to continue this Thursday. We're not gonna. I'm assuming every final case has been really, really long, so I highly doubt we'll probably get to like the investigation part and maybe the first part of the trial. They're usually broken up into 4 parts, but we'll see how long it goes. But thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for the subs tonight, guys. Everyone who subbed. Also this week, so I did post the schedule in Discord. I'm really bad at this. I'm really bad at like linking myself, but if you haven't joined the Discord and want to see when I go live again, I did post the schedule for the week. I'm adding a bonus Friday stream because Princess Peach Showtime comes out officially, and I will be playing that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Unless I beat the game. I don't know. We'll have to see how long the game is. But we'll be doing that this weekend. But Thursday we'll be continuing Ace Attorney. And I'll be starting probably around the same time. Why don't we go ahead and raid on over to Trashley, who is playing some Resident Evil. The Resident Evil 1 remaster remake. It's one of my favorites. I don't know how far along they are. It's their second stream doing it. It's one of my favorite games to watch people play. It's just a really good like horror puzzle type game. But there's our raid command. If you're not subbed, feel free to use your own emotes. And we will raid on over to Trashley. They are in drag tonight, looking fabulous. And then I will see you guys again on Thursday with more Ace Attorney. Thank you everyone that stopped by tonight. And have a good night.